You are now listening to Scheduling Fate, hosted by author and counseling astrologer Jamie McGee. For more information, please go to schedulingfate.com. Hi there, and welcome to Scheduling Fate. I'm your astrologer, Jamie McGee, and today we are going to continue on with our series about manifesting with astrology. Now, we have already worked through the 7 traditional planets, and I do want to explore the outer planets, but in order to really understand those, because they're in place for so long and they're a generational planet, we would want to understand the houses. And to understand the houses, I think a good place to start would be the ascendant. So, the next couple of episodes that you're going to hear in the series is going to be one about the ascendants today. Then we're going to talk about the houses, and then we'll dive into those outer planets so you can really understand how you or your generation manifest in this area of your life using those energies. So, for the last 7 videos, I have ensured that very first intro into why I think this is such an amazing practice, looking at how you work with the law of attraction, how you work with manifestation, how you can be self aware of what you're attracting to you, and how you can work with that energy. I've ensured that intro is in every video. I'm not going to put that in this video. So if you have not heard me talk about this before, I encourage you to find that link underneath here. Go listen to that first video. Go listen to all of them because that'll really help you start to conceptualize how you are consciously or unconsciously attracting. All right, with that being said, I just want to remind you that underneath this podcast, you are going to find a link to a free chart. You're also going to find a link to a free workbook. And if you would like to be part of my Moongate membership for less than $5 a month, get discounts on the reports that are tailored to your personal chart, working with me, a great calendar that you can add with all astrological insights from me on it. That's less than $5 a month, and there's also a link for that. All right, so our topic for today is about the ascendant or the AC. Now, when you are first on a journey of self-exploration and learning your chart, it's easy to understand what your sun sign is. You put in your birthday, you're like, this is me, no doubt about it. The ascendant is a giant leap forward because in order to understand what your ascendant is, your rising sign, you must know what time you were born. And it's not something that you can guess. The universe moves every 4 minutes. Now, with that being said, please do not panic. If you do not know what time you were born, we can still discern a lot. Astrologers can still discern a lot by understanding what planet is in what sign and how those planets are talking to each other, the aspects. And then there's a great tool called rectification that can help us look at your life events and understand what your rising sign is. But that rising sign is the key. It is the doorway. It opens up how your chart is set up. It says this is house 1. And if we know where house 1 is, we know where the other 12 are. And the houses represent areas of our life. A great way to think about this is the house is the stage, the planets are the actors, and the sign is how those planets act on that stage. That's always a good thing to remember when you're first learning astrology. But knowing that first house, we're able to see the flow of how your entire chart works together. And it's remarkable what you can learn from that energy. Now, that first house is all about you. It's yourself. It's how you look. And it's pretty interesting because the way that I tell people, and if you worked with me one-on-one, you've heard this, the sun sign is your crown. It's like what you are adorned with in this life. The moon sign is sort of like where you hold the doctorate or the PhD. That's your instinct. You do it so well. You're masterful at it that you don't even think about it. It naturally happens. But your rising sign, your AC, is sort of like being on the junior varsity team. You're wearing the jersey. Everyone sees you as that. And this is one of those areas where I'm like, the universe has a sense of humor. Because when people meet you, they meet that rising sign. They don't necessarily meet your sun sign. They meet the rising sign. So even though you're the new person on the team, just trying to figure out how to be what your rising sign is, that's the energy that comes out first and just reaches out and smiles. It's the mask that we wear. That's one of the ways that it's described in text. Now, what does this have to do with manifestation? Well, when we look at how the houses are set up, there are houses that are very public. There are things that you can't hide. Like, this is what I look like. These are my partners. This is my family. This is my home work-life balance. Those are public areas of our lives. Those are the public angular houses. This is 1, 7, 4, and 10. These areas impact us on a really powerful level because often, sometimes unfortunately, we're more outwardly focused than inwardly focused. So understanding how these energies are working at these pivotal angular areas helps us understand what we are consciously or unconsciously attracting to us. Now, please keep in mind, this is just one layer. This is just your ascendant, understanding what planets are in these houses and what conversations those planets are having, who they answer to, and who that planet answers to, all adds a very unique, one of a kind experience of this lifetime that you have. There is not another person on this planet that has your chart, your perspective. You're here for a reason in this lifetime, and is to express how you use that energy. But I think that these are great first steps for you to start to understand, okay, this is how I naturally attract. So as we go through the signs, we're going to start at the top and go to the bottom. We're going to look at how you work with this energy. But I encourage you to pull out that free chart that's underneath it or a chart that you already have. Look at the planets that you have in those areas and realize that that is another layer. And also consider what is transiting through that area of your life? Because you may, when we get into the houses, I know we're going to have questions like, I don't have anything in this area. What does that mean? There is going to be something transiting through that area of your life. The moon moves through there every single month, but the rest of the planets, they're going to start talking to it, whether by transit or actually being present in that house. So, understanding these areas of your life is so vital, and understanding these angular areas that we're about to talk about. Those are some big, significant life shifts that come in, or things that are just so in your face, in your awareness. By understanding them, you can say, okay, unconsciously or consciously, this is what I always bring into my life, or this is the stage. Remember, the house is the stage, the sign is how those actors on that stage act. This is what I bring in. And if you know that setting, if you understand that theme, then you can engage to ensure that you are calling in what you want to see more of in your life. So again, there's a free chart underneath this broadcast. There's a link to the original video. There's a great booklet. If you want to work one-on-one with me, there is a great link for you to get discounts on doing that as well. All right, let's dive in. Now, if you are a Gemini rising, you are ruled by Mercury. So it's very important for you to know where Mercury is in your chart, what house, what sign, what is that energy answering to? Now, this is mutable air, which means that you kind of dangle between two worlds, endings and beginnings. You're very sociable. You understand how to connect with people where they are. But because you do that so well, sometimes people think that you lack just a little bit of depth. And that's probably something that you're very conscious of or self-conscious of. Now, the thing is, all of these public areas in your life are also mutable. So it could feel to you like you're behind the curve or ahead of the curve. You're looking back at your friends that maybe have a Taurus rising or this other fixed energy and say, you know what? They lock in on something. My foundation, my partnerships, my career, it's always shifting. Why? Well, it's shifting because it's meant to. But by understanding those energies, you can ask yourself, how can I shift? How can I manifest in a way where I feel natural and at home with this energy? So, Gemini energy, it's all about intellectual growth, really getting enough information to find comfort and understanding in the people that you're around. Now, when it comes to your home, this is a Virgo energy, which is also ruled by Mercury, but it's very detailed oriented. It's black and white, it's clean, it's organized, unless it's sort of escaping into that other Piscean energy. But it could also be a little bit critical. You could have had critical parents. One of your parents could have been very critical, or you could be the critical person in your home. And with this energy, you want to assure at your home base that you are noticing what is working more than what is not working, because Virgo always remembers the feedback that it gets. So, what kind of feedback are you giving? Because that's the feedback you're going to receive. Now, when it comes to your partnerships, you love that fiery, quick action of Sagittarius type people. These are wisdom speakers. They're blunt, they're truthful, they call it like it is. And one of the reasons you're so attracted to this energy is because it's the opposite of who you are as an individual. You kind of get locked into the duality. It could be this way, it could be that way. And Sagittarius, your partners, people you compete with, they're like, you know what? It's all the ways. This is this big, wide open story. I would encourage you to notice where Jupiter is in your chart, because that's going to give you some more information about who you naturally partner with and not necessarily romantic. Now, when it comes to your reputation, your sense of purpose, that soul purpose, the career, things you do for money, but also another period in your life, that area of your life is ruled by Pisces. So I would encourage you to look again for where Jupiter is, but also look where Neptune is, the modern ruler. This will give you some more indicators of what you have naturally attracted into this area of your life, but it'll also help you understand how you are unconsciously or consciously leading other people. Now, Pisces has a reputation for at times being a martyr, for being self sacrificing, for ensuring that everyone else feels good and not really checking in with who they are. Do you have a leader in your life that does that? And are you naturally leading this way? Or are you leading with a lot of compassion? Are you able to stand next to someone and say, I feel you, but I'm not absorbing your energy? This is a creative sign, it's a spiritual sign. It likes to escape. When it comes to your career, do you escape or do you have a career that says you must escape? Do you write things? Do you create things? It's a really interesting kind of energy to consider what you're attracting. And right now, with Saturn transiting through that area, you may be going through some tough lessons with how you put up healthy boundaries in your career. Now, on the other hand, with Jupiter in your sign, there's a lot of opportunities to go in different directions.